This podcast is brought to you by Independent Building Advice. IBA acknowledges traditional owners of the land and waters this podcast is recorded on. If you find this episode helpful, follow us for more so we can continue putting out free value for all homeowners in Australia. It really goes a long way. Enjoy the episode.
So when you're looking at building a house or extending or renovating a home, there's great ways of doing it and there's not so great ways of doing it. But unfortunately for most people, it requires a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. And if you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes more, on getting your home just right, you probably can't afford to make lots of errors and mistakes. And the issue with that is really about how people go about building homes. There's various different types of ways of doing it, and they all have their pros and cons. So the number one way that people actually buy homes is they go to a display village or they look online, they engage a builder, they speak to the builder and they think, hey, that guy's a nice guy. I like that building company, let's give them a go. And that's probably the extent of research they do. They might look at reviews, they might look on different forums and try and get an idea. But however, that salesperson that works for that building company is working for that themselves first and the building company probably second and you third. And sometimes the information or advice you get is biased towards that builder or giving you what's in their best interest, and you might not be the right fit, or they might not be the right builder, or they might be the right consultant, but the wrong builder, or they might be the right builder and the wrong consultant. So these are issues you've got to face. Another way of doing that is actually go to an architect or a designer and they design your home for you and they advise you on a great design, great layout. They talk to you. Hopefully they're proactive in giving you advice. But when you actually get it priced, often it's way over your budget, or builders will refuse to actually price it at all because they think you're just going to shop it around, and why spend all this money pricing it when they've got a very small chance of winning it. But what we find often is that when people get it designed by someone externally, that person's just looking at your design and they're not really taking price into account. So the issue with that is when you might design a home you love, but you can't afford it or it's way over your budget and you find that you spent that money for very little reason. Not always, but sometimes it happens, and it actually happens a lot. So with those ways in place, you've got to find how do you get all the right answers? How do you find the right solution? Well, you could try own a building, but if you own a build and you don't have the trade base, you're competing with every major builder out there. And the reality is, if there's a shortage of trades like there is currently, then your chance of getting those trades over a major builder or even a medium-sized builder is very difficult. And we actually help a lot of people who get stuck, and often we can't help them because they're halfway through and no builder's going to take over if they don't know who's built it. So you've got all these dilemmas. So what is the actual solution? And that's where independent building advice comes into it. So what independent building advice does is we work completely independent of builders. We have our own designers and what we call client advocates. And the reason why they're called client advocates is they work for you as opposed to the builder. Now, we do try to get a win-win-win scenario where builders happy, clients are happy, and obviously we're happy. But with our consultants, although they design the home, they're heavily trained on what things cost. So they're going to actually advise you on what's in your best interest, but design you the best house for your money and advise you what's included and what's not included in your home. So when you're going into this, your eyes are wide open. But because we're independent, we design the home away from the builders so that when we actually design your home, we get it right. And often at the moment, we have 21 different builders specializing in all different areas. So we go, okay, of these 21, these are the 3 that we think are the best for your kind of work. It might be that you're doing a timber framed home or brick, or you're building a home over $1 million, or you're a first home buyer. We recommend the right builder for you. We get normally 2 to 3 quotes for you. We then sit down, once we've got the quotes, we compare them. And obviously you have a say in who those builders are. Once we've compared them, we then make sure that they're all compared fairly. One might include painting and the other one doesn't, so that's not fair. Make sure they're all even. We'll say to you, we reckon builder B. You might say, no, actually I prefer builder C, and that's your choice. You meet with them. If you're happy with them and you sign up with them, we stay with you through the entire process to key handover. So ideally, we avoid ideally we want to avoid 100% of the problems that could happen out there, I should say. But normally we might avoid 99% of them, but we're there for you to help you with the ones when if there is a problem, we can get involved and try and help you sort it out with the builder. Now, with doing that, we've been doing it for so long. I personally have been in the industry for 25 years. Almost every problem you could possibly experience, we're there to help you through it. And we've seen it before, we know how to deal with it. But ideally, the best problem is the one that we avoid rather than the one we deal with. So there are really 3 main areas that we specialize in or that we focus on to give our clients the best outcome possible. Now, we're very passionate about clients having a great outcome, and we go to great lengths to make that happen. We'd rather be proactive and tell you if there's a problem or issue, or tell you what you need to hear rather than what you necessarily want to hear. And that the reason we do that is because a lot of people will make mistakes. If we order take and you're making a mistake, we're not going to sit there and just not tell you about it and tell you later, oh, we knew that, but you made the mistake. We really want to be there and guide you so that when you get to the end, you go, wow, actually building wasn't that hard. In fact, it was quite enjoyable, and all those issues that we read about didn't really happen. Well, that's because we've put things in place to avoid that. But we don't just Google a builder. We don't just randomly design your home. We've got experts in place. So what we do is when we design your house, we sit down with you and we have first of all, it's a free consultation, and we have a chat to you about what you're trying to achieve, how long do you want to live in the home for, what outcomes do you want, what's in your vision, what ideas do you have, and we'll share our ideas on how to achieve your ideas. We'll make sure that your design is actually going to work for you functionally, it's going to actually look great, it's going to feel great, but most importantly, it's also in and around your budget so that you're not designing something that's just not feasible for you to actually build. And that guidance is actually a lot of criteria that we look at, but that guidance with design, we've actually won quite a few awards for designs, and that's something that we're proud of, but also the clients are happy because they had a great experience. So once we design the home and an expert sits down with you, they'll generally do a concept design for you. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just to show you that we're on the same page as you, what we're thinking, why we're thinking about it. And then if you're happy from that, then you pay a fee for a design fee. We take that on board and we do a custom design for you. Part of that, a lot of people struggle with visualizing the design, which is fair enough because it's not normal that you're looking at that. We'll actually take you to a display home, or actually show you fly-throughs of your home or 3D renders of your home, just to make sure you really understand what you're getting, what's included, what's not included. So there's no guesswork, and it's nice and black and white, so you can enjoy the experience. On top of that, once we've actually designed the home, we've got that layout right for you, and we do the fly-throughs and that, you still have an opportunity to make changes to work for you. Now, if you want to know more about our design process and our services that we provide, please check out our services page, where we actually give you more information than what I'm doing here on the design process, what's involved there, what you're getting from it, and why it could be a great option for you when you're designing your house. Now to talk to you about guidance and how we guide our clients through the process. Well, there's a lot of things we can guide you on. One, which builder is obviously one, and also design, but also selections. What selections are you going to have? If you choose this stone top over this stone top, what are the consequences? What are the door handles, taps, all the kind of things. We try to get you a really nice level of inclusions. A big problem with building is hidden costs. You sign up for something and you don't realize what you're getting, and then you have to pay a lot more money later. Well, wouldn't you not like to know those figures up front? So we'll list all the things that the builder's including, and then we'll list all the things that aren't included and put numbers next to it so you have a good idea to adjust for your budget. For example, a swimming pool, how much do you allow? 25, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, how much? So we try to guide our clients throughout that process to make sure there's no surprises. We do things like, for example, with your electrical, you generally get one light per room and one double power point per room. It's not enough. So we allow extra money on top of that for our electrical allowance, that if you use it, great, but if you don't use it, you don't spend it and you get the money back. But it just gives you a bit of a buffer so you're not getting another surprise of what you haven't included. And there's lots of little things that we do in the home. There's also things in the home that we've seen for many years of doing this that you may not know is even a thing that we advise or include for you, or we actually recommend to you, that you go, oh wow, that's great, I love that idea. And you're not finding out after you built the home about something that you wish you'd known earlier. And that's a common thing when people go, oh, I wish I'd known that earlier. We try to avoid that as best we can. Now, with that guidance as well, being all the way through the process, ideally, you don't need our help. That's the goal, right? Ideally, you ring us and we send you a text message, or we call you and you go, everything's great. That's what we want. But if things do go pear-shaped, if there is an issue, we are there to help you work through that. And that might be that we challenge the builder, we talk to the builder. It might be that we go, hey, is there another way of doing this on site? Is there a problem? We make sure we keep the builder accountable. We've got a bit of leverage with the builders because they like working with our clients. We make sure that we can actually talk to the client, talk to the builder, or explain the situation differently to you. It's basically like having an experienced person next to you, like you would with a lawyer or a doctor or someone like that if you need help, sitting next to you going, hey, this is how we should do it, or do it this way, who's an expert in what they do. Now that client advocate, and the reason why it's called a client advocate is because we're an advocate for you, not necessarily the builder. We're going to give you what's in your best interest for the best results for you and your home. When it comes to builder selection, we don't just choose any builder. We don't just Google them. We find the right builder for you, based on 7 criteria and 8 if you're extending or renovating. So 7 criteria are financial stability is really important in what we do. We look for build times. They've got to build your home in a reasonable amount of time and they have to build it well, don't get me wrong. Next one is actually workmanship. There has to be good workmanship. When we talk quality, we're talking workmanship as opposed to whether you've got stone tops or not, because that's the big part of it. Then communication and service. Are they communicating with you? Are they talking to you? Are they being flexible with how they can do things to a certain degree to make sure your home's well? Is the price a fixed price? Is the price you're signing up for what you're going to get at the end? There's cost plus and there's fixed price. We can cover that in another video for you. Are they competitively priced? We're constantly comparing prices. We believe in a win-win-win. The clients win, builder wins, and we win by marrying the two together. But the reality is if a builder's constantly a lot more expensive than everybody else and we can't see the value, well, I don't want to waste their time pricing it if you're not going to get the value. So that's competitively priced is really important. But the last one, and the 7th one is the most important one, is do we like them and will we build through them ourselves? Because if they're not great to work with or they're hard or difficult or arrogant or whatever it might be, well, we wouldn't build it ourselves. We can't recommend it to you. And the 8th criteria, if you're renovating or extending, and that is, have they done it before? Renovating a home or extending a home is not that easy. There's a lot involved in it. We need to make sure they're experienced at this to make it work. And we're experienced and we've worked with all our builders many times before. So we're taking out the guesswork. We know they're good and that's why we're recommending them. At Independent Building Advice, IBA, we have a range of different services depending on your circumstances and where it's best for you. We're very passionate about people having a good experience building. Unfortunately, people find out about us at different stages in their process. Ideally, we'd love to design your home from scratch at the start and then project manage all the way through, because that's you're going to get best results because we're mitigating problems from the get-go. However, if you've designed a home already through your own design or architect, whichever, we can help you find a builder. If you've got a builder in mind, but you need a design, we can help you design the home. That's not a problem. We can help you design it and then we can help you through the builder. If you've got a design and builder and you just want someone to be by your side, helping you out at different stages of the process, we've got that. And we've got products where we can actually help you with just the feedback on your electrical layout. We've got products where we can do building inspections through the whole process. We can help you read your working drawings, read your contracts. All these services we can give you, you can bundle them together or you can do them individually. But no matter what stage you're at, we can help you in that situation. But sometimes you just need to chat to somebody on the phone and you always give us a call and say, hey, I've got this problem. Can you help me? And often if we can give you a quick solution and point you in the right direction, we will. At the end of the day, we're sick and tired of people having a bad experience building, especially when you can actually have a good experience. And we're here to help you do it. If you want some help with building, renovating, extending, go to our website, fill out our contact form, reach out to us in an email. We'll come back to you as soon as we possibly can. A chat costs nothing. We just want to help you out, give you the right feedback. If we can't help you, we can't. If we can, we'll show you what we can do to make it work. Generally, we're going to save you time, money, and headaches. Look forward to hearing from you soon.